Hey guys, welcome to Team SNG. We're doing a deck profile today. We're here with Matt Eeles. He just came top 8 at the Reading Regionals. What's the date? February 2nd, 2020.
Yep.
So, Matt, what did you play?
I played Gren Maju Control.
And how'd you do?
I came 8th in the regional out of around 70 players. It was 73.
What was your record?
I came X2,
Okay.
losing only to Spiral and Cyber Dragons.
Alright. So, shall we get into it?
Yep.
Alright. We'll start with the main deck.
For the main deck, I played at least 3 Gren Majus, the main card of the deck.
Yep.
Near enough, if you just banish loads of stuff, it's just a big humongous. And near enough against BA, they can't get around it,
Okay.
which is basically just hilarious. Then I played...
Did you end up against BA at all?
Yes, I did, round 1.
Oh, okay.
And then I played double Nibiru,
Okay.
because of having 3 can brick my hand if I'm forced to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact is, you can actually use Nibiru to trip over Gren Maju and Nito Millions, and they will still not gain any attack or defense from it.
Okay.
So it's really good use for big monsters.
Right, unless you push late game because yeah.
Because I've also played double Gizmek Orochi,
Okay.
because well, I can only afford 2 Gizmeks and Orochis, and the fact is that I only needed 2 because well, it's that useful. The 1 Prankotops because
It's at 1.
it's at 1 and it is near enough a hilarious card when you open it.
Yeah.
And it just gives you extra pluses.
Okay.
And then 3 Phantasmes because we're still in Master Rule 4.
You think
So link monsters are very useful.
what do you think of trading out for in Master Rule 5? Or not thought that far yet?
I've not thought that far yet, but I do feel that at the moment he is still good of a card.
No, don't disagree.
Then I play the MVP of the day, 2 Vanity's Fiends, because he is utterly hilarious against every other deck. Because near enough he just stops any special summoning at all. So
Okay.
basically it can just stop every single rogue deck in the format.
Sure.
Except for me if you play a mirror match, then it's basically you're near enough screwed, they'll just bring out the Gren Maju again.
How often are you going to be playing a mirror match with this deck though?
Very unlikely. Very unlikely. It's more likely to face Gren Maju Control, Gren Maju Combo, sorry, with the dangers than this deck of Gren Maju, which is very unique.
Okay.
I also play 3 Fairy Tale Luna because it is a card that allows you to just add itself, just instant +1 from its summon. So it also allows you to discard fodder for like Phantasme for its second effect.
Okay.
And also the fact is it's a compulse as well. So basically if your opponent has a monster on the field and they only play like one of it, like a kaiju, you can just go normal summon this, effect adds itself to hand, and then you can use this effect to bounce the kaiju back to hand.
Okay.
And then you can just continue, and then you could probably play like summon out like Gizmek or even Nito Millions to just power through the opponent to inflict damage.
Right. Okay.
Also play the hand traps, 3 Ashes, 3 Drolls, and 3 Veiler because
Hand traps.
because this stops from every single thing from to do with the deck. This stops spirals in their tracks, and Veiler is just my replacement for Imperm. You can chain it onto Phantasme after you special summon Phantasme.
Okay.
So much more useful than Imperm when you're playing Phantasme. Then I also play 3 Nito Millions because as a card it is hilarious. Even though because it cannot be tributed, so 2 Dracos can't tribute over this card.
Right.
And it cannot be used for fusion, synchro, or exceed materials. So
Okay.
basically, no one. So many people try,
But they can't get rid of it.
super poly it.
Right.
Utterly hilarious. and it's the best removal in the deck because the fact is, whenever in damage deck, if this attacks into another opponent's monster, it just banishes itself. It'll just banish the monster face down, which is basically one of the best removals in the game at the moment.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
And it gives Gren Maju increased attack. Well, it doesn't give it increased attack, but it gives itself increased attack anyway. So.
Yeah. Okay.
And then for the
onto
spells,
the spells,
I play the 3 lightning storms because it's heavy back row hate, and it is basically, well, it's just brilliant.
Right.
It's just brilliant as a card concept because it only needs no cards face up on the field to activate. So in one game, I was playing a Infernoid deck that I was playing Mystic Mine. Yep. I had Vanity's Fiend on the field and I set an Ash. The turn afterwards, I just set a Nibiru and then just activated Lightning Storm. Got rid of the whole Mystic Mine and his back row. So, it's definitely useful, and even though it's pricey at the moment.
Did you find problems with it? Late game or?
Late game, no, not really, because near enough you can also use it for discard fodder for like Phantasme or even the Nightmares, so
okay,
it's still useful as a card. So.
Yeah.
And then I play logically the 3 Pot of Desires because it just powers up Gren Maju so much, and Eater Million. So people call this a neg 9.
It's not.
It's not for Gren Maju.
It's not. No. It's not a neg 9 in any deck, really.
Yeah.
It's a +1.
Yeah. And then I play the 1 card destruction and 1 monster reborn.
Yep.
Because card destruction near enough destroys any card hand set up your opponent does.
Yep.
And monster reborn just to reborn stuff from graveyard.
Right. If anything hits it.
Yeah. And near enough I can easily set up a BLS link using Monster Reborn if they have like a level 8 or higher monster in the graveyard.
Right.
And near enough it just says +1, and then this just lets me time brick as well, so.
Right.
Good cards. And then 2 mind controls because basically you need it for going second decks in the moment, so just to take control of your opponents. There's also just the baits and negate it anyway.
Yeah, it baits negates.
Yeah, and you just use it for nightmares plays and stuff like that. Also, it's hilarious when you play against Nibiru, when you play with Nibiru.
Yeah, so you just take the token.
Yep. And then 3 super polys because it's utterly broken as a card.
Right.
Because it allows you to just fusion summon any fusion from the deck, from your extra deck.
True. Yep.
And your opponent can respond to it, so.
No.
Enough, so basically Orcas, you go into Starving Venom, and then in one matchup, back to the Infernoid matchup, he managed to summon out 3 Infernoids under Lair, activate Super Poly.
Yeah.
Go for the Predator Plant 3.
Yeah, the
monsters.
Trust Goalie or something.
You mean this one?
That's it, the Trifaveritum.
Yeah. It's a very weird card name.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. The 3-headed Predator Plant.
Yep.
And then I also played the 1 Dimension Fisher because, well, you play it in
Gren Maju.
In every banish deck you have to play at least 1 Dimensional Fisher because it just gives you pluses, and against like decks that play like Subterrors or just play like
any deck
or Droll, it just completely shuts them down.
Any deck that needs their graveyard too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it needs monsters in the graveyard, like Invoke, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. And then onto the traps, I just play the 3 There Can Only Be Ones because it's one of the best floodgates at the moment.
Yep.
It just stops your opponent. It just stops specific archetypes from doing stuff.
Did it ever hit you at any point where you sort of like, I need to...
Really.
No?
Okay. No, not really, because near enough you can still set on the There Can Only Be One, so just set to Maju. Even if you've got 10 that, so...
Yeah, well, that's true.
And then the legendary 1 Macrocosmos, because it's another way to get banished cards out, so get cards banished, so...
No, don't disagree.
And it completely shuts down 2 Dracos as well, which is only saw 1 deck of that today, so which is surprising. Now onto the extra deck. I just play for the links, I just play 1 Link Karibo, because Eater Minions is level 1.
Yep.
Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix because it's generic Link 2 fodder. Nightmare Unicorn and the BLS Link because
Link 3s.
Because they're nice Link 3s, and the fact is that BLS with spell Gizmek is just hilarious. 1 Warlord, but I'm thinking of taking it out. I never went into him really, and it's just... I knew enough changed this out for a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for this, and I soonly regret it because of when I faced Cyber Dragons, so I didn't think they'll be coming up today. So yeah, that was a rip on my part. And then for the Xyz, we went for the 3 major level 8 Xyz monsters for Gren Maju. So the 1 Sky Fortress, the 1 Ding, and the 1 Hope Harbinger. Yep. I never went into these today, but they're still useful to have because you can always have the Gizmek and the Starving Venom, so you can overlay into like a Ding or even these 2. So yeah. But these are mostly used in the combo variant where they use dangers, more level 8 dangers than anything else. So but they're still useful to have regardless. And then for my fusions, super poly targets, I have 1 of the 3-headed player plant because it's just a nice generic dark 3, and it's just hilarious when it's summoned. 1 of the Royal Challenge Guard Dragon because Spiral, it just gets rid of Spiral boards, and near enough it's just a 3k beat stick near enough though. And then you got 1 Starving Venom because Starving Venom is just a generic
2 darks.
Yeah, 2 darks, so. As well as 1 Pillar Plant Draco Superior because it's just useful when you go up against a hero matchup and then just go into Dark Claw or Dystopia or stuff like that. Yeah. Or they set up the free hero board of Absolute Zero, Sunriser and Plasma. You just go super poly and then go into this. So you can take their Dark Claw and Absolute Zero or something, or the Sunriser, so you can just go into this. And then one of the best Cyberse fusions super poly target you can have at the moment, the Earth Golem Atinister, because as a card... That fella? Yes, this fella here. He is utterly hilarious as a super poly target because
he stops battle damage and stuff.
Because when he's fusion summoned, you don't take any damage at all, and if this attack a special summon monster from the X deck, it gains attack equal to the monster's attack. To its original attack. So it gets really big and it keeps you safe. Yeah, so basically it's like an Avamax / 1 day apiece, that was it. And then the 1 card I'll probably take out, it'll be the Duplex Chimera because I never saw it played today. And near enough, this kind of replaces it. Near enough, so... Because even though it's like a generic Fusion 2 of Cyburst, it's like... The only time this will probably be really useful would be if it was up against, what was it, Mathmex. That's the only deck that I could see this being useful for. Rather than that, it's like... useless. Okay. So I'll take that out.
And your side?
And then for the side deck, I play the 3-dimensional shifter because I just love to banish stuff.
Why is that not in your main?
I don't main it because the fact is that I see because Vela and Droll, they're more relied on hitting the grave than anything else. And the fact is that I don't know which deck I'm facing, and it's just like it's better to try and just drop their board first and then see if they need the banishment or not, because Metaphys is a thing. But
check out the profile on the channel, guys.
Shameless plug.
I gotta have some.
And then 3 Denko Sekkers because back row hate. Near enough, it just wins you games them most of the time. Dark Rule No More for Spiral. I've seen this once today, but it basically was not the card I needed because of the fact is that near enough I had all the stuff against Spiral to completely stop Spiral, but I had nothing to push through it, so near enough this was just a neg in my hand at that time, but I won't take it out because it's still just a massive floodgate that most decks do not have an answer to, so...
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
Yeah. And then Cosmic Cyclone, because it's one of the best spell trap removal in the game at the moment, and it can get around Field Barrier with Mystic Mine, so...
Okay.
And then I play the double evenly match because, well, banishment, and it just allows you to disrupt their opponent's boards. So and then the one red reboot because it's at one, and it's one of the best trap negation in the game at the moment.
Right, back row hate still.
Yeah. A lot of back row hate, so it's one of the best ways of hitting Gren Maju, so...
Okay. Okay, so MVP of the day?
Oh, I announced it earlier, but again, the MVP of the day was...
Gren Maju.
It was Gren Maju, but it was also Vanity's themed as well. Because of the fact is, when I got this out when I got this on the board, either through a Eater Millions play, or even just through a Gizmek, they couldn't really out this. No, not they couldn't out this really, because of the fact is that most deck needs their special summon, needs special summoning this format, and the fact is that if they can't special summon, they're near enough dead as a deck, so they're near enough dead and to set one pass.
We got two final questions for you.
Yep.
One is important, and the other one doesn't really matter. The one that doesn't really matter, what was your favorite and least favorite matchup today?
My least favorite matchup today was, I would have to say the Cyber Dragons matchup, because the fact is because near enough, like I said when I went into the X deck, it's like I took out
Chimeritic Fortress.
Yeah, Fortress Dragon to put in a boiler load, and because I never thought a Cyber Dragon was coming up to this regional, and then it came, and literally they just abused Link Kuribo to utter destruction. So, which basically made Gren Maju utterly useless. So
yeah, they do that.
Yeah,
they do that. Yeah. All right, and your favorite matchup?
My favorite matchup today was. It would have to be the Mech Knight Invoke matchup.
Okay.
Because each game I opened up with either Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure, and the fact is they could not play through that at all.
Right.
Near enough, because of the fact is it just banished all their materials, so they couldn't really use...
They couldn't recur stuff.
Yeah, they couldn't use Invoked, and near enough they couldn't even special summon the Mech Knight. Because I had one game with the D-Fisher, I managed to get on D-Fisher with a Vanity's Fiend with a Gizmek Engrave, and in the first game I had a Macrocosmos with there can only be one on field, so they couldn't really do much.
No, that makes sense. Alright, enough of the important question.
Yep.
What color is your favorite Ojama?
For the Ojama, I'll have to go for white for Ojama King.
Are you really into those guys with panties on their heads, huh? Alright, well that sounds good. Thank you very much, and good luck at the WCQ.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright.
Goodbye.